I designed the GK Expander after receiving some requests from Roland guitar synth users who wanted to use the amp and modeling effects in the Roland GR-55 with guitars that do not have a GK-3 pickup attached. The GK Expander accomplishes this, but includes some other handy options for adventurous GR users. The GK Expander has the following features: 13-pin input and output, standard guitar input, insert for GK control pin 9, GK S1 and S2 inputs, internal GK volume control with a switch to select from guitar or expander volume, EV5 control pedal input for volume, and individual synth string access to process strings with computer-based guitar synthesis, recording and editing on a digital audio workstation, etc. For demonstration purposes, let's get started using the GK Expander with the Roland VG-99. I have a GK-equipped guitar plugged into the GK Expander input, and the output is connected to the VG-99. By plugging a Roland FS6 foot switch into the GK Expander using a tip ring sleeve cable, I can switch GK S1 and S2 settings without using the switch on the guitar. Any switch will work, but I like the FS6 for its versatility, since it can be used in latching or non-latching modes, configured as normally open or closed. I can also control the GK volume with an EV5 pedal. The GK guitar volume knob on the guitar sets the maximum volume, so if the guitar volume is at 50%, pressing the EV5 pedal all the way down still results in 50% volume. Or I can use the top panel switch to select Expander, and the volume knob on the GK Expander sets the maximum volume. And again, the optional EV5 can be used to further control the volume level. Now let's do a quick check of the guitar input. The GK Expander has a buffered guitar input circuit designed to match the impedance of the buffer circuit in the GK-2, GK-3. A special input jack is used for the guitar. It has an electronically isolated double pole, double throw switch to maintain the integrity of the guitar signal path. If you're familiar with foot pedals, this is the same thing as having a true bypass switch controlled by the mechanical insertion of the guitar cable. This is important. When GR users realized the GR-55 did not have a standard guitar input like the VG-99 does, the easiest solution was to cut open a 13-pin cable and just wire a 1/4-inch jack to pin 7, the guitar signal. However, because of the impedance mismatch, this sucked all the tone out of the guitar output. It sounded terrible. The GK Expander solves this problem with no loss of guitar tone. First, I will plug a Roland G303 guitar into the VG-99. Now, let's plug the guitar into the input of the GK Expander. There is no change in the guitar tone. Now, let's go one step further and use a Roland GR-55. I have the output of the GK Expander connected to the GR-55. I'm using the volume control on the GK Expander to control the volume of the GR-55 and the FS6 to send GK S1 and S2 signals. And with the G303 plugged into the GK Expander, I can use all the amp modeling and effects without a Roland GK2 or GK3 pickup attached to the guitar. The GK Expander inputs are all tip ring sleeve. The ring is connected to the guitar and the tip to the synth. This means that even the guitar input can be used as an insert. For example, if you're using a GK2, GK3 equipped guitar, then plugging a Roland EV5 into the input jack will insert the EV5 into the guitar signal path, allowing you to control the volume of the normal guitar with an EV5. By using two EV5s in a Roland FS6, you can have hands-free control over your entire GK rig. There is also an insert on the pin 9 control line. Pin 9 is used to help a Roland VG-99 or GR-55 sense what position the guitar plus synth output control switch is in. But pin 9 is not critical. Earlier Roland guitar synths like the Roland GK-2A or the Roland Ready Strat did not use pin 9. So you can use pin 9 for other applications like adding another control switch to the guitar or adding a continuous controller. Finally, the GK Expander has a 7-pin DIN connection to allow direct access to the individual GK string signals. This means you can record individual signals direct to your digital audio workstation process them, quantize, and then play them back through your Roland synth. In this example, I connected the 6 outputs from the GK expander to 6 inputs on a Mark of a Unicorn 2408 Mark III interface. I played a simple pattern into Digital Performer. Then, I unplugged the guitar from the GK expander and moved the patch cables from the Mode 2 inputs to the Mode 2 outputs. I unplugged the guitar so the VG-99 would not be receiving input signals from both the guitar and the computer. Now, the VG-99 plays just as if I'm playing the guitar parts live. Then I connected the GR-55 to hear the same pattern with the GR-55. With the individual tracks in the computer, not only can parts be quantized, repeated, or looped, but guitar sounds can be layered. You can have one pass of string sounds with one GR-55 patch and go back and layer in that same part with a different string sound. And you can do more. With the individual outputs from the GK expander connected to the 2408, I opened up 6 auxiliary tracks and inserted a basic reactor guitar synthesizer patch, one designed by Mark Smart. This enabled me to do real-time, low-latency guitar synthesis using only my computer. Since I was using a different plugin on each string, I was also able to set the synth parameters differently for each string. Some strings have a long attack, some are percussive, some are layered in fifths. This opens up whole new horizons for guitar synth players. You're no longer restricted to the limitations of particular hardware guitar synths, and you can now access a huge range of audio plugins.